piece is called Linoi. Linoi is the plural form of the name Linos. Linos was a son of Apollo who had the very bad idea of challenging Apollo to a singing contest and met a very grisly death as a result. Linoi was the first piece since Mozart's time, or maybe just after Mozart's time, while Mozart's original clarinet player was still playing, to be written for this clarinet with extra low range, which nowadays we call a basset clarinet. So that's a name that was coined in the mid-20th century to describe this instrument that was then being built to play the Mozart clarinet concerto in its original range. It might not be completely obvious to while listening to the piece, but the climax of the piece, when Linoi is being, I suppose, dismembered, is a little passage of three-part polyphony written for a single clarinet. And that's a thing that not just Birtwistle, but even Mozart back in his day, in fact, both those composers would use the octaves of the basset clarinet as distinct instruments in themselves and construct dialogue between the different parts of the basset clarinet's range. Alan Hacker was Harrison Birtwistle's favourite clarinetist. He studied with Birtwistle in Manchester in the 1950s, 60s, I think. They were of a similar age. Birtwistle himself played the clarinet, and at one point they're supposed to have had a conversation where Birtwistle said to Hacker, "All right, I'll write music and you'll play the clarinet." And that's more or less how that worked out. He wrote lots of pieces for Hacker over Hacker's career. Alan Hacker is, for me, probably the most inspirational clarinetist, I was going to say on record, but I would say perhaps full stop, out of my predecessors, if I can call them that. Hacker, as I said, was a pioneer in restoring the basset clarinet to the concert stage. And Linoi, it says in the score even, very proudly is the first piece to have been written by a modern composer for this instrument with the extended low range. Hacker also had a particularly extended high range, so the pieces that Birtwistle wrote for the basset clarinet, they cover a range of at least 4 octaves normally, which is substantially more than you'll normally see in the clarinet repertoire.